Christine Maria Gross discovered the ancient healing art known as the Radiance Technique after she was diagnosed with cancer at the age of 23.
When I first studied the Radiance Technique, I thought I was going to learn something that would help me recover from my cancer.
With the Radiance Technique, I discovered a rare jewel, a way to support the whole me, not just my physical health.
Her cancer went into remission after a year, and it stayed that way. But Christine Gross has been inspired for life by the power of the Radiance Technique. She began providing it at the Hospice of Windsor in Essex County in 1992 to patients and caregivers. Later, she became an instructor and has taught the Radiance Technique to a team of volunteers. Through Hospice, they have provided TRT free to thousands of people struggling with life-threatening illnesses.
Certainly, it is very useful stress management technique. Patients like it. Patients experience calm and become peaceful, and they have better contact with their self, and they feel being able to cope with day-to-day living after this technique.
And I can't tell you how thrilled I am to be able to hold this up for all of you to see.
Now, Christine Gross is sharing her knowledge of the Radiance Technique with a broader audience by publishing a book and DVD.
And in writing a little something for Christine recently, I said, there's so much to be grateful for in life. I'm especially grateful to you, who had the creative vision to place in words the path of the Radiance Technique. More important, this vision has been made real through humanity. Your love, your ability to care for those of us experiencing the deepest moments in life's transition.
For me, I oftentimes see a flood of purple light as they're working on me.
As a social worker, Jan Dennis spent 20 years helping people with cancer. Then she was diagnosed with it.
I can't even imagine not having that support. It's been very, very loving, very supportive to me and throughout the process.
I want 3 books.
The book and DVD of We Are Timeless were launched in 2012, a dozen years after the project began. Jan Dennis died before it was complete, but her family came to the premiere showing of the DVD at the Hospice of Windsor in Essex County.
There were so many moments throughout today's presentation that were so touching, and especially the DVD, the impact of seeing Jan once again speaking of her transition. And when I see this, I think of life, I think of living, I think of hope.
Has the Radiance Technique helped me find meaning in my life? The Radiance Technique has helped me to have a life. In a nutshell, it gives me hope.
Diana Kokorin was diagnosed with cancer in 1995. Shortly after, she began receiving Radiant Touch. In the beginning, she was reluctant to try it because she didn't believe in it.
I was very inspired by it. It made me think some people who are a little bit resistant, that this would be a good DVD to bring to them. They might be able to watch it in their own time and come to their own conclusions, because many people are very hesitant about anything that's like energy work.
But when they told me I didn't have to believe in it, and I said, well, it can't hurt me.
It only took a few sessions at Hospice before Diana was convinced of the value of the Radiance Technique.
And I thought the DVD was a very good way of presenting it and bringing people to a space where they could accept something that's a little different, that they don't necessarily understand, and that's not necessarily Western medicine.
There's so many times no one could take take the pain away. But this did.
After the DVD, I really felt intimidated of getting up here and saying anything that will be meaningful.
Windsor-Tecumseh Member of Parliament Joe Comartin traveled across Canada as part of a parliamentary committee on palliative and compassionate care.
We're continuing to make overtures to the provincial government level, and that's started and will continue for the balance of this year as we try to get, this is so typical in our country, both the federal and provincial governments to be expanding these services. And I hope as part of that expansion of services, the type of techniques that you've developed here can be passed on to the rest of the country.
I'd like to present you with your copy of We Are Timeless, of the book and DVD. And you're right, this can be transported all across Canada, book and DVD, and training and whatever else. So we thank you for coming today.
You should have waited a few minutes, Christine. I was going to buy one as I was going out the
door. We Are Timeless, the Radiance Technique in Hospice Care at the Hospice of Windsor and Essex County is available at the hospice or at www.portalwisdom.com.